Shall we begin? Shall we begin? I don't know if y'all caught last night live, but I went in on a lot of topics. Then I see a video today with Meek Mills addressing one of the main topics I was talking about. Basically breaking down, well, I'll let Meek speak in his own words real quick.
Rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff, so I make sure I even align and come on talking on stages like this. But you guys, the NAACP, open up doors for people like me to be able to power forward, because the things that fund us, that don't power me forward. You know, I just make sure, because I know better and I'm at an age point, I'm 36. They power is really from when we 21 to 25, where we really don't know. Then we get...
Meek said a whole lot. I wish I could have caught the rest of what he was saying. But he said enough to prove my point. Where a lot of people be arguing with me about these rappers. So now he's saying with Ice Cube and everybody else and everybody else and everybody else, it's the door, it's the door, it's the door. But behind that door, there's an agenda to push the most ignorant music. And see, when you get a certain age like Meek Mills, when he just said, I'm 35 now, it doesn't feel right anymore. No, it's not that it doesn't feel right anymore. Once you hit 35 years old, you get a certain age in the rap game. First of all, if for those of y'all that don't know, I done sat down with A&R trying to help artists back in the days. I done sat down with a bunch of A&Rs, and they all told me, you have to lie about your age. If you're older than 25, they don't even want you in the industry. That's for one. For two, if you paid attention from the rappers in the beginning, follow the leader, Rakim say, the illest. You can even move over to the Busta Rhymes, the most animated rapper ever. After a certain age, you don't hear these brothers dropping albums, and if you do, you don't even hear these records being promoted, because there's a door. And not just that there's a door, there's an agenda to dumb your children down. I love Jim Jones' music. I love some of Mano's music. But I started going at some of these older rappers in New York because I realized the power of the influence of the image. When you pull up in a hood with $100,000 cars, over $100,000, $500,000 worth of jewelry. When you put albums out and you spit in that gangster persona, when you living like a doctor, you living on a level of a doctor, you living on a level of a lawyer, but yet when you come to the hood, the children are looking at the success that these rappers have, like a young Jeezy that's telling you to trap or die as he sent his child to graduate out of college. But our children was inheriting the penitentiary in an early grave. They sold our children the streets. They sold our children the penitentiary, while they gave their children the best of life. They gave their children college. They gave their children beautiful yards. Their children live like doctors and lawyers, while our children live like savages. And see, you got to understand something. In the hood, nobody wants to be like the janitor. Nobody wants to be like the garbage man. He looked like he's struggling, even though the garbage man and the janitor make decent money. It's not enough in the hood. Because they sell us this illusion where everybody's rich. It's an illusion. Even to the point when you look at my older videos, my first videos, I wasn't getting on the internet dressed like this. But in order for the young boys to hear me over these rappers, I had to look like these rappers. I had to dress fly every time I got in front of this camera in order for me. Some people wouldn't even look at me unless I had something fresh on. This is a spell that's being cast on these children. Now we done went from the era of the intellectual rappers to the drill rappers. You even got these females drill rapping. Listen to the sound of these females. Shorty said her putty cat is pink and her doodle hole is brown. I said, what? Take the what? Did they really put that on the radio? Picture your daughter in the backseat of the car. You driving them to school in the morning. That song comes on, and those words are being quoted out of your daughter. The first thing you thinking as a father, you want to reach back and you want to smack the holy canal out of her. But then you got to look at yourself because you don't want to turn the radio on. Turn the radio. You turned that radio on. So at what point in time, now that we know that there's an agenda to push the most negative music to our children, when do we sit up there and say no to this algorithm of evil? When do we sit up there and say no? Or better yet, right. So I guess it's just like me. When I sit up there and I talk about the topics that's uplifting, I might skim over those videos. But then if I sit up there and I put a dude in the title that I really don't even want to talk about, like Gillian Wallow, y'all come just to be nosy. So I guess it's the same thing with these rappers. When you sit back and you analyze it, it's like, all right. If I sit up there and say Brenda got a baby, nobody want to hear that. If I sit up there and say dear mama, nobody want to hear that. But if I say hit him in the head with the headshot, it's like, ooh, the crowd goes wild. All the hookamaniacs. When you know better, you do better. Remember this. Words are spells. So even when you rapping, I understand some of the rappers that's poor, they rapping what they see in their environment. And I understand that. But when you elevate to a certain level, and you know that the children is looking up to you, you making a conscious decision to destroy them. And see, in this situation with Meek, I'm glad he's using his voice now. But it's to the point to where that the little dudes don't even want to hear him no more. He's outdated. Meek is still one of my dopest rappers. But to the young boys, he's outdated. Some of these young boys don't even know who Tupac is. So it's safe to say the rappers of my generation failed the younger generation. And now it's too late. But you younger boys that's watching me, I need for y'all to understand something. Words are spells. So the lyrics that you invoke into the atmosphere, sometimes, they may come back and come bite you. Keep in mind that the rich, you might see them in the hood every once in a while with the cameras rolling because they want to pull up and stunt, do it for the gram, do it for Hollywood, do it for BET, but then they going back to the suburbs. Meanwhile, you got to live in an environment that's created and bred to be evil. It is what it is, man. I just came here to make you think. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. And pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. In life, you know how you drive in your car? Your car gives you a check engine sign, right? That's a warning to let you know that something is wrong. In life, your friends give you a warning. When they start moving funny, and the handshake ain't matching the smile, you know how you give somebody a dap on the corner and it's like, that fake, they ain't give you that. They give you that. And you can feel the energy. Don't avoid those warning signs, man. Don't avoid those warning signs. Sometimes you got to fall back. And sometimes when God takes somebody out of your life, don't be in a rush to give them an invite to come back. He removed them for a reason. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I'm out.